Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be tier listing all BDAs in Demon Hunter Roblox. So, I'm not going to talk, thank you for the support I guess. Alright, moving on. So, first up we got Spike. Spike is a solid shitty F. Worst BDA in the game. You place a trap down, that's if they fall for it. It's like a black dot in the ground. I don't know, I haven't really seen anyone cook with it. I know there's probably going to be some guy in the comments bitching about how it's the best thing ever, but I don't really care. Moving on, Biwa, S tier, probably the best BDA in the game. Every time you parry someone or you get parried, one of those two, you turn invisible for like a second, which is always helpful. You can TP them to you, and it like does like a slam kind of thing. You can also summon like a piece of the Infinity Castle to slam down. It's an grip. It's an auto grip. Those are always nice to have as a demon because you don't really always have those. So yeah, that's an S tier. Hatred. Probably like a B tier. Probably gonna be like I'm low, mid B. I don't know. I just think the dragon's such a specific hitbox, and it's a counter. I mean, that's pretty cool, but I don't know. I don't think it's anything crazy. Next is Staff. Probably another S tier. Probably the lowest one here. It's good for certain missions where you can place your shitty Thunderball on top of like the Osteria thingy, the little generator, or the scroll, and they can't really fight you while you pick it up. That, and if they're just in your lightning bolt while you're fighting them, they're kind of cooked. But if they know actually how to like handle lightning staff users, then it's a little difficult. But I think besides that, you should be fine. Next up is Gyutaro Blood Sickles. I think Blood Sickles is a solid A. I main Blood Sickles. It's got an auto tracking, like little circles that follow your target for a little bit until I think they parry it like 2 times or something. But it's pretty good if they don't know how to parry, which 95% of Slayers don't. So it would just be attacking them, and you can also attack them while those 2 circles are auto-locking to them. And the other one is kind of like an Akaza Rush grab skill, and it does a lot of damage, so it also goes up there. And its pass is pretty useful too. It basically just stuns their breathing bar when you land a grab on them. It's also strength based, and all strength bases are pretty good. Next is Flash. Flash is probably above Blood Sickles. Just because the domain little ball thingy is almost a guaranteed win with how broken it is inside of it. You just get buffs while you're inside of it. Every like 10 seconds, one of those tentacles come up and grab the enemy, and then it just repeatedly does that, and it's just all out, almost a guaranteed win when you get them in the domain. Next is Akaza. Akaza, probably another B tier. I don't know if it's better. Probably just gonna put it behind for now. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna put it in front. There you go. I think it's just in front because it's got a rush skill. It's pretty decent to use, but there's also a problem with that skill is that they can just dash, and it's super easy to avoid though. It does decent damage. It has a little bit of ranged M1s because you like punch shockwaves when you M1. I'm trying to think what else it has. It has like basically like a strong punch kind of skill too. It's very strength based. It can do decent damage if you're skilled with it. That's all I'm gonna put in B. It does decent damage if you're good with it. Next is probably the worst BDA or rare BDA in the game. Shadow, aka Hario, however you pronounce it. The gun one. It goes C because early progression it sucks. You know, it has a bunch of skills which require level requirements. Its M1s don't even really do anything special. The skills aren't really even that good, and it's just all out voted the worst by most people. You know, there's some people that can really cook with it. When I mean some people, I mean one person. I think he was like a lower moon or something. I remember I saw him cook with it, but that's probably like the only person I've actually seen use it well. Next up is Windfan. Windfan is probably the best common BDA in the game. I don't know. I think it's probably below Blood Sickles. It has ranged M1s, which always makes it better, and it's different from every other M1, so it kind of throws people's parry timing off. It's got a range thing that does a lot of knockbacks, so if you're trying to hit them, wait for regen, it's got that. And it's got one where you jump in the air, and it's almost like the same thing with every one of these like personality Tangu BDAs. A lot of them, for some reason, have an ability where it hits like a specific spot where you aim, like the second skill. Same thing with the wind one. You jump up and you throw like a fucking circle, like with like putting like pressure to the ground. And it's such a specific hitbox. That's why I put a Tangu down here, because it's almost like the same thing. It shoots like a dragon at such a specific area of hitting. They can easily just dash out of it or something. It's just not smart in my opinion. Next we have Doma. Doma's probably a low B tier. It really depends if you're good with it, because I've seen people cook with this one. The second skill is really good, and it's just all out a decent BDA. It's got its own weapons. It has a auto-locking ice spike thing that does a lot of damage, depending on, I think it's tech, how much tech you have. And yeah, the giant statue does a lot of damage and slows them down, etc. So that's why it's up there. Probably the second best BDA in the game, Tamari. It's extremely annoying with its insanely long M1 range. It just has a bunch of skills, like a rapid throw one that just shreds their HP if they don't have a parry, a heavy attack one, and I believe I think I'm trying to think what the third one is. I don't remember because I've never actually had Tamari because I had the worst luck ever with BDAs. But I forgot what the third one is. I think it only has 2 skills. Either way, it's decent. The range in ones are make it extremely difficult to parry, and that's why it's up there. Next up, probably the second worst common is Sonic. Doesn't do a lot of damage. The squeal is nice because it pushes them back, but not for long. It doesn't do like almost any damage. The same thing with Wind. The second skill, you jump up and shoot a pressure blast at the assigned area, but it's really easily avoidable, and it doesn't do a lot of damage even when it lands. Why it's D tier, it's pretty bad. Even though the passive is pretty good, when you get block broken, you scream it and it pushes them away, which is actually pretty decent, but still, that's why it's not F tier, because the passive's alright. Next is String. Man, this is kind of a difficult placement. I don't know if it's better than Tamari. My opinion, I don't think it's better than Tamari. The second skill is pretty easily avoidable. You just hold block, but it's also very good for punching them with the guard break skill. The first skill is a string pull. It's literally gives you a free hit when you pull them towards you. Free hit with anything. That's always nice. So it's just a free combo. True, basically, and it's all out just a good BDA. I mean, I don't know what's really wrong with it. It's pretty stacked in every aspect. Next, we have the fishies. Honestly, yeah, Gyoko, probably right there. The wind pool is almost the same thing as the string situation, where it's like a guaranteed hit once you get him in the or the water pool, whatever it's called, the jutsu thing. And then it's got the tentacle thingies that do a lot of damage, I've heard. But mainly it's right there. Oh, it's also got the ranged in one with the little spiky fish thingies. It's not terrible. It's obviously a keep if you get it. And yeah, it doesn't have a passive, and I'm pretty sure the passive are just the ranged in ones like Tamari. Next we have Spear. Spear is probably the second best common in the game. It has like a pretty good skill where you basically TPs them and hits like a full combo. If they parry the first part of that move, then the rest of it doesn't land, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. If you do land it, it does a lot of damage. The second skill, you like do a huge floor slash. It's finally something different from the rest of these personality ones, but it's like a floor slash one, and it's pretty good range, pretty easy to land, and that's probably why I'm putting it B tier. It does decent damage too. Next, we have Obie. I think Obie is another A tier, probably like above Wind Fan. Obie has different in one, so it's obviously harder to parry. The first skill is an auto execute, that's always nice. And yeah, I think it's just different from other skills. And it paired with the claw BDA just makes it do a lot more because unique in ones. Next, we have Lightning. I have a personal hatred towards this one. I hate this one because the second skill isn't bad, alright? It's not terrible. I'm still just going to B tier from a different person's perspective. I'm not trying to like have my own grudges against it, but the first skill, you stand still and shoot lightning, right? And if you're going against one person, it seems like it would be good. But in a 2v1 scenario, it sucks because they can just get behind you and then use a free skill while you're still shooting your lightning. But even when you're doing a 1v1, they can just dash out of the way, get behind you, and then attack you. It's pointless. I just don't think it's any good. If anything, it helps the enemies almost, because it's so easy to avoid the lightning stream. The second skill is actually pretty good. It's an auto-locking skill. That's probably why it's not lower on here. That's why I'm putting it B. And it's also got a unique weapon, but the M1's speed is not really that well, so it's pretty easy to parry. And yep, that's like my, third Demon Slayer related Roblox tier list. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And see ya.